What's up, y'all? I figured I would just record. I'm on my way to grab something to eat and listening to Nas. I just got finished watching Love and Marriage, Huntsville. That show is a mess. Like, the whole thing is a effing mess. Like, literally a mess. Like, what's the girl? The Holtz, they're so petty, especially the husband. He's really, like, ultra petty, and he enjoys it. I wonder if he's a Sagittarius. He enjoys it. Like, he really, like, he enjoys it. It's very weird. And then, like, Melody, the word on the street is that she filed for divorce. So I guess she got a little bit of sense. But this episode, I don't like Letitia. I feel like I was just saying on the internet, down to the internet, her personality, I don't know her, I'm talking about her personality type. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know nothing about that lady. But her personality type, her personality seems forced. Her personality is very inauthentic. Her husband, if you watch the way that her and her husband engage with each other, she asks him 50,000 questions. He may ask her 2 or 3 questions. Go listen to how they conversations go. It's her initiating conversation and looking for affirmation from him. Like, maybe that's her love language. Like, she looks for approval or something. And her mom is such a little busybody. But Letitia is the same way. Y'all move around too much and do too much talking. I'm surprised somebody hasn't tapped you bitches on your shoulders. Because y'all do too much talking. And it's very aggressive. It's very aggressive and confrontational. And it's like out the blue. It's like, bitch, who the fuck are you talking? Where are you coming from with this bullshit right now? And then, like, Letitia does that little laugh after. And Melody, I don't know. Like, maybe this should be the last season. And how the fuck they get a reunion and Married to Medicine LA don't get a reunion? I know it's not the same channel, but how does that happen? This little, who does, is that Carlos who does Love and Marriage? That's probably why they get a reunion. Because he said, we're going to set this up some way. We're going to rent out a studio and we're going to set this reunion up. We're going to do a reunion for this show. I don't like the way the Letitia's husband talks to her. I don't like him at all. He's such a misogynist. Where are your front teeth? I can't see your front teeth. I don't want to talk to you. What are you talking about? Looking like your dentures are out. Oh, God. And he's so misogynistic, and it's so gross. And it's like so typical. It's like you believe, like, you really have this, you really are sold on this thing, like, this is your housewife, you're the husband, you don't have to put any effort towards connecting with your children, you don't have to put any emotional labor towards your children. As long as you are providing financially, that's enough. And then you also feel that you can do whatever the hell you want to do out in these streets because of that. And I'm sorry, but I kind of believe that the girl said, as long as he don't embarrass me out in the streets. Because Melody said, she said something different. And then when she repeated it, she said something. She didn't say what Melody said she said. So I was like, girl, you must have said something like that. And then why are you always calling on Kimmy? Like, why? I'm like, Melody, girl, why can't you hold your own? Like, what is this need? You're confrontational, but you need backup. Like, that don't go, bitch. If you're gonna be in somebody's face, who gives a fuck? Who can co-sign anything? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're gonna be as confrontational and running around, say a little thing, you didn't come to that girl's event. You came to it uninvited, so you need to be kicked out. I would have kicked her out too. You gotta go. You are not invited. This is not the time nor the place for us to hash any of our differences out here. This is my event. And you come in here with this fake ass, this smile and saying, well, no, I was there in good spirits. I was there because I wanted to congratulate you. Girl. Go away. Get out of here. go away. Ugh, gross. I was just like, this show is, I watch it, and I said I wasn't going to review it. And I said I was just going to wait until the reunion so we could just talk about the reunion. But the episode that I just saw, and Melody's husband, he goes and he apologizes to the kid for talking shit about his father. So did you lie to the kid? Because now what is it? Are you lying that Letitia's husband is out screwing bitches like y'all? Because birds of a feather. You know how they say about women. You know how the men say about the women. If your homegirl is a hoe, the people are going to think you're a hoe. So if your homeboy is a hoe, they're going to think you're a hoe. So what is the tea? I don't get it. So is it true or not? I mean, yeah, what you said in front of the kid, like he's petty like that. That's why I was like, he's too petty for me. He's too petty. He's too petty. And he enjoys it. Like, he seems like he gets off on it. And the only couple that I can tolerate seeing and watching their little, the conflict that they experience within their marriage is Kimmy and her husband. And I don't like the fact that he wants her to stop working. Now, what do y'all think about that? How do y'all see that? Like, what's your perspective on that? She does something that she enjoys doing. Why would you want to take that away from her so she can help you? What she want to help you for? She don't want to help you. She wants her own identity. Why you always want somebody helping y'all to do some shit? Hire somebody then. Hire somebody if you need somebody to help you. God damn, why you always want your wife to quit her damn job and help your ass? Would you quit your fucking job and help her and run a private practice if she wanted to be a doctor or whatever the fuck? Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? These people do not know how to do this thing. I'll be right back. So it's kind of dark now, honey. But, okay, so I'm done talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let's talk about Marriage Bootcamp. Honey, they kicked they kicked Tony and Corrupt out. They said, y'all are hopeless. You helpless and you hopeless. We don't have no hope for y'all. So y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta get up out of here. And Tony said something about she's going home to her kids in Las Vegas. I hope your kids are old. Maybe they're older. Maybe she just, I mean, honey, I don't know. You don't know what's going on with these folks. But they told Corrupt, when Dr. Ish went outside, he met Corrupt outside. Said Corrupt was not going to come back in the house. He met him outside. Corrupt sitting there with his shorts on, like he didn't have a good fifth. He looked like he had something good to drink, honey. Let me get out the way because these people act like they don't know how to drive. Okay, let me go over here. People don't know how to drive. And Dr. Ish said, oh, y'all really can't see me. Huh? Can you see me when I smile at least? Dr. Ish said, you can't go back in the house. What is it going to be? You got to go to rehab. Like, that Marriage Bootcamp was not for Corrupt. Like, Corrupt should be in rehab. He should be in whatever show. Remember that show, what's it called? Safe House? It was something Dr. Drew was doing with the, and Jennifer was on, what's her name? Jennifer, what's the girl's name? Jennifer, Jimenez, I think her name is. She was in Blow. She played Johnny Depp's, was it one of the other guys' girlfriend or wives or whatever, but she got into a fight in one of the scenes. Her name is Jennifer Jimenez, I think. That's what it is. But she was on that show, and she was like a resident, like a person, I don't know, what do you call them? The people that help the people out. Sponsors, like, that's how she was in the house. Y'all remember that show? That's where Corrupt need to be. And Tony, and then in some scenes, was it me or was Tony looking real different? Like, her face looked different. Like, it was weird, but they got their asses out of there. They were like, you're going to have to leave. You're going to have to go or whatever. And she was like, well, I don't know what's going to happen with us. He's not going to change. Duh. so we're just gonna, I don't know what's gonna happen with. So I don't know if they're together or not, Corrupt and Tony. But when Dr. Ish was like, all right, he was like, all right now. Corrupt was out of there. He don't care, and he keeps saying he's not gonna change. So either love him or leave him alone. Either love his drunk, cheating ass. He's a drunk, verbally abusive, emotionally abusive cheater. He said he's not going to change. So you either love the cheater or leave him alone. And that's just what it is. And then they did this little thing. So Votto came back, and he talked to Dr. Ish, and I guess he was supposed to write this thing, an apology for Tahiri. He wrote a rap. I mean, that's his way of expressing himself. Because at first I was like, girl, shut the fuck up. Take that shit out of here. But, I guess that's the way he can express himself. And Tahiri was, she loved that. She did her hand on her heart and was like, I wanted to run up and hug him, but he needed to know what it was like or something. I don't know why. I don't know. And are they still together or what? Like, what's going on? Because Tahiri seemed like she came to a realization that all of this shit is fake, and thinking all of these things that you have to do in order to have partnership is fake. But anyway, so they did this little thing called where they had the children come with, they did all the cars, they put all the cars together, and they put the stickers on the cars and stuff, and to tell, I guess, their story or whatever. And then the kids came out. So what's his name, Hazel and Devon. So Devon, turned out Devon comes from, I guess, some type of privilege or something, and has been given everything his whole life. And maybe, you know what, I wonder if Devon's mother is white, because he acted out. He says his parents got divorced early, and he used to act out in order to get his way. And we seen this demonstration. They talked about how you were, raised, and how you were raised, and how you were disciplined in childhood, and how you were taught that you display those behaviors in adulthood. And it's absolutely true. And I always tell my sons this: when you are demonstrating a behavior that isn't conducive to your growth, I'm here as your parent to correct that behavior. Like, no, you can't do that. Don't do stuff like that. You have to correct it right away, because I tell them this all the time. If I don't correct it, you are going to think that this is how you can do this out in the world, and you're learning how to act in the world at home. And if you're doing something at home that isn't going to translate well in the world, I need to correct it now so you don't think it's okay. I tell them that all the time. They be looking at me, I be like, nah, no, we're not doing that. They be looking at me like, what? We're not doing that. That's not what we're not gonna do. So that needs to be corrected right now, and I need to correct you. And then I tell them, if you get upset with me, I understand you getting upset with me, but I need to correct it now, because if mommy doesn't correct you, you're gonna think it's okay to act like this, and you might get your ass beat. And that's not what we want to do. You understand what I'm saying? So Devon is like this spoiled brat who doesn't get if he doesn't get what he wants, he throws a tantrum. And we saw this behavior demonstrated already. We saw it. Hazel seems to think it's funny. They started laughing. They seem to think it's funny, but I see you being a mama type. You're older than him. You're 15 years older than him. I see you being a mama type. Now you have a baby with somebody who hasn't learned how to resolve conflict as an adult, because he's still accessing the way that he behaves. He's still accessing a childlike behavior. And that's not going to bode well when you're trying to raise a child. You understand what I'm saying? That's not going to go. So that he needs to be in therapy for real. And pretty much, I don't know, what's the name and what's the girl's name? Hold on a second. So Willie and Shonda, they had their little childhood things or whatever. And Shonda, you could see her issues with her dad, always not being good enough, feeling like nothing was ever good enough, and always looking for those affirmations. I kind of related to that a little bit with her. I felt like I related to her a little bit in that sense. You know, and it made me think of, it's funny because it made me think of this time that I made gumbo, and I was like so proud of the gumbo that I made. And my dad makes this really great gumbo, and I was really happy. And when I showed him, like I was like showing him a picture of it, and he was like, that don't look like gumbo, that looks like soup. And I was like, that really, like, it really made me feel bad. And I was like, damn, why can't, and I thought about all the times, even when I was just watching this marriage boot camp, I just thought about like, damn, like, I remember like him not letting me win, and then me getting upset and angry because I didn't win like a board game, and me like throwing the whole game board, like flipping it over and getting really angry at a very young age, like maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, like very young, getting upset, and then him laughing about it and thinking that it was funny, and it made me very competitive. So I'm very competitive. I do not like to lose. I just don't like to. And when she was saying different things like nothing was ever good enough, I thought about that. I was like, dang, that I kind of feel like nothing was ever good enough when you think about that. And then who else? That was pretty much it. Willie and his grandfather, they asked him, what would your grandfather think if they saw you was treating your woman like this? I said his grandfather was probably a fucking Rolling Stone too. If you're a third, child, Willie, his grandfather was a senior, so that made his father a junior and him a third, right? Okay, honey, more than likely the lineage is, they probably shifty. They so egoic that you get named after them, and then you have to basically model that behavior. So you were probably modeling the behavior of your grandfather, more than likely, saying his grandfather didn't go to school, but he was the man in the town and this and that, and so you figured you was gonna be the man about the town or whatever. And then Vado's little person, that little baby, that little boy was so cute, but he talked about how his mother raised him to be better than that, and that he did talk to his mom about what happened with Tahiri, and she said that was no reason for you to react like that. And then his little person was like, I would never hit a person, never ever ever. I would never put my hands on a woman. And it just so happened, here he goes putting his hand, he was like, damn, it took that long for that to come out. But you just said in the interview with Dr. Ish that other times when you had to get physical with a woman, it was in self-defense. So okay, Vado, whatever. Anyways, y'all, but that was pretty much it about the episode. They kicked Tony and them out. Phaedra, they talked about Phaedra and her being them saying that she was a little nigga baby when she was little, so she had to always be perfect because I guess some of her family members were passing, and they used to ask her grandfather, who was this little nigga baby? So I guess her being perfect was her way of, dealing with that childhood trauma. And then Medina's story was a trip. His mother was schizophrenic, and he says that he has a lot of patience for people because he doesn't like to see people hurting, or he just has patience, and that's where it came from, dealing with his mother. And it was really sad for him to say, like, she tried to sell my brother at the mall, tried to sell him, and then they put her in a mental institution, and he said he never saw her again. So I'm like, you never went to see her, you never went to see about her, you just let them put your mom in a mental institution and you just never went to see her again? I was like, oh my God. But anyways, but that was pretty much about it with the whole thing. Next week, I don't know what's gonna happen. But anyways, let me see if I don't even know if I'm gonna upload this because it's hella dark and y'all can't see. So It is what it is. Anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. Take care of each other. Peace.